Alright, let's see if maybe I can actually get this thing done. So, 2017 Ram 1500, 5.7 four-wheel drive. This is the Laramie. Is getting the starter replaced. Come on. This thing just doesn't want to stay on my face properly. It's completely tight too. Alright, so disconnect the battery. Get a light under the vehicle. You want 10 on electric ratchet, 10 on a regular ratchet, 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter, a 3-inch extension, and a camera mount that'll actually stay on your head if you intend on doing this. Well, I had a 15 millimeter under here. I thought it was under here. It may be under the vehicle by now. Oh, it's right here. Let's see if I can get under here and not squash myself. Alright, camera is off the head. So, if you follow the axle in and you see this black shield right up above that black shield or support bracket is the starter. It's got two 10 millimeter bolts that hold it on and two 15 millimeter nuts, I believe, that hold the starter in place. This is a factory starter from 17 and it's dragging, so we're going to replace it. Let's see. Hopefully you all can see. I can't really tell. But the first thing we're going to do is take the shield off. The silver shield, not the black shield. I've seen a couple like how-tos on taking it off. And they're talking about taking that shield off, this bracket rather. And I don't think that's necessary. As a matter of fact, I'm fairly certain that it's not necessary. There's one bolt. And the other bolt is up here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but there's a cutout on the aluminum bracket. Where did my ratchet go? Well, it's above my head. Just for the record, I cannot see anything that I'm doing. So I'll probably be poking and probing around. See one of the starter bolts right now. The other starter bolt's hidden behind the shield. Or not the shield, but the support bracket. Ties the front differential to the engine. One bolt is here. The other bolt is on this side. Now what? I'm gonna have to put a bell on this thing. Now remember, if you don't disconnect the battery, your starter will arc out because there is a positive wire on the back of it. And these cars are very finicky about short circuit. This is the worst I could have ever possibly had, using a swivel ratchet with a swivel head socket. Get the arm out of the hole. Well, let's gotta go right back in there. One second. All right. Cramp. All right. Get my arm unbound again. What? Well, I can get my hand in one way, but can't get my other hand in the other way. Oh, come on. So this top bolt, if you don't have an electric ratchet to be able to reach inside of there, you have to go over top of the catalytic converter to be able to spin it out and or put it back in. Whoa. There's the top bolt. Now the bottom should be a nut. And it's tucked way back off behind that shield. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna pause for a second. Alright, so I'm back at it. I got that top bolt out. The other bolt is tucked off inside of there somewhere. I had to switch out my swivel for a straight socket. And that bolt is tucked right back up behind the transmission line, so this is going to be fun. Well, let me see if I can fit the swivel in there. Maybe, if I can find it. I almost be better off taking the shifter out of the way. Okay, I think that might be the route that I have to travel over top of the lines, more especially with a swivel. Get my hands unstuck. Well, shoot. I really need those lines out of the way. Either that, or the bracket out of the way. The line's held on with a Torx, which feels like a T30 Torx. But I don't really want to do that. I don't want to take apart any more than I have to. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to go get a T15 Torx. Sorry, a 15 mil short socket. Alright, I have found my 15 straight socket, 3/8 drive, and I have a 1/2 inch drive, 15 mil with a swivel. Well, that'd make us a little hard to get to. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm on it or not, but I'm in a general vicinity of it. And of course the line's still in the way. Let's see. Let me shoot that over the top. come on. Okay, I'm on. I can't see anything that I'm doing. It's back on. Wonder how difficult it's going to be to get the shifter out of there. Looks about like the only option that I have to be able to gain full access. That wasn't too bad.
Should be good.
What's that?
A DCF order just called it.
Alright, I got the shift cable out of the way. Now I want to find my ratchet. And I should be able to go from the bottom side to be able to take this off. I gotta move y'all out of the way. It's probably not going to be the best solution here. Well, it doesn't look like that's going to work either. So, on to the next. Which is going to be back to the 3/8 swivel. And that doesn't look like that's going to go in there. I got a feeling that if I do get it in there, I'll never get it back out. it will. Come on. This one's too big to go in there. So my only option is going to be the 3/8 drive. Oh. Hmm. Tim, can you find me a T30 quarter drive in my big blue box?
Can't hear you, you're in the box.
T30 quarter drive in the big blue box.
3/4 drive.
No. T40 quarter drive.
T40.
Quarter drive.
In what box?
In the blue box. I don't even know if that's going to work. I may end up having to pull the drive shaft out of the way to get it out. This is extremely frustrating.
Broken.
What about a 30? Man, I had it on there too.
It's got the tiny. You want the tiny one?
I think I might have actually just got it.
What are you doing to this thing?
Changing the starter.
Jesus Christ, all that for the starter?
Yep.
So you don't want the T30?
No, I just got it loose.
Okay. I'll put it back before I move.
I've already been to this point 5 times, and I just now obviously put it in the right direction. Alright, starter's loose. Now to get it the rest of the way out of there. Let's see if I can get this off without pulling. Oh, no. Everything's coming out. This wouldn't be so bad if the drive shaft was out of the way, so I had my hand up in there where it needs to be. Let's see if I have the right tool to take it off, and I think I do. Yes. Hey, one more request.
Pilot of the airwaves, here is my request.
3/8 drive impact.
You don't play it, but I hope you'll do your best. You say 5/8 or 3/8?
3/8, the red impact, the short one. They may not show the drive shaft coming out, but in this instance it's going to, because I'm tired of being a contortionist. Should be on the left side, second bin, second shelf. Any day now. Find it?
Nope.
It's the only red impact in there. The other one's outside the trailer.
Nope.
Alright, I am back with hopefully something to be able to take the drive shaft out. How great would it be to have a lift? Just gonna leave that connected and down out of my way. Kind of wish I'd done this sooner. Fully opened up. You can actually see the back of the starter now. Alright, let's try. Get some of this crap out of my way. Alright, the starter is officially loose. I'm just going to leave that in there. Now, push the starter back up towards the engine and drop it out the hole. And of course, you're going to have to roll a little bit to be able to get to the top bolt that holds the positive wire on. And it looks to be a 13. Which is good because that's the only other size that I brought down here. Sometimes this ratchet comes in handy, sometimes it doesn't. Thankfully in this instance it does. Alright, old starter is out. It's a teeny tiny old guy. New starter. We only got 2 wires on this solenoid, so the one that's already on the solenoid is the hot that goes to the starter motor itself. Your other hot comes from above, which is the main hot wire to the starter. Sorry, straining a little bit trying to get this back on. I don't know yet, but I think I'm at the wrong angle. Yep, I was definitely at the wrong angle. One lock washer, one regular nut. spin it all the way on before you move it out of its place. Grab your 13, put it in the opposite direction, which would be tight. That bolt wasn't very tight to begin with. I don't really like it, but it is what it is. Make sure your Bendix is on the right side when putting it back together. Otherwise, you're probably two things is going to happen. One, you're not going to be able to install it. And two, it's definitely not going to engage the teeth on the flex plate. I'll put the exciter wire back on in just a minute. As soon as she is back in her home. Now then, the bolt is still in the end of the socket, surprisingly. So far my luck with this thing has not been great, and it would not surprise me the least little bit if it had fallen out. It's partially through the hole. Line it up. Should thread into the starter fairly easy since the holes are not corroded. Then put that exciter wire back on. Before putting the monkey torque on the bottom bolt, be sure to start the top bolt. Otherwise you may not be able to get it in there once it's all said and done. I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. That hole is extremely large. Starter needs to be seated all the way. Ting! Definitely don't want to under torque this bolt, mainly because there's a lot of vibration on the engine. Alright, that bolt is in. Switch off to just the socket. Get up here and tighten this other one in. I wonder if I can fit my little impact in there. If I could. That'll definitely save me a lot of time and headache. I can't fit it in there with this. Not the straight one anyways. 15 swivel and the 3-inch extension. Nice. All right, that's hopefully all downhill from here. Assuming I can find all these teeny tiny bolts. Word of advice, jack the vehicle up. Unless it's got a lift kit on it, then still may have to jack it up slightly. Unless you're a teeny tiny person. And I'm not. Alright. One bolt. Hello. Where are you at? Other bolt. Hole, sorry. It's further to the back of the starter. Alright. Scab. I don't know if I can do this or not. Nope. Oop. Okay, so maybe you can see what I'm doing now. I'll watch my hand as I go out just to make sure. These do not have a ton of torque on them, so don't over torque them. Next to last thing rather, I get this guy back in its home. She has a clip here, push it in, it goes right in. And shift cable, it may need a little bit of finagling, but it'll go right back in its home. And then clip it back onto the end of the shifter. Now, here, you don't want to go far off from where you were because you don't want anything being out of balance. Which I don't think this is going to be out of balance anyways. On the drive shaft, it's best to go ahead and put them all in and then torque it. Not torque it, hammer it down. 60 million ooga doogas. Now that is done. All the torque. Yep. What have I done? get the important stuff out of here, the stuff that's expensive. My hands unstuck. Alright, you grab your electric ratchet if that's what you use. Hey, there's grease everywhere. Now, just a heads up, you may have to relearn the throttle, which is fine, that's not the end of the world. Oh, get my socket stuck. Junk, cheap tin. And I'm pretty sure the key is still in my pocket, and it is. Dust myself off. Pretty dry. Yeah. Hey bud, you got a brake light out. Lives. Stinks. Alright, let's get this thing out of here. I'm a little vertically challenged, so feels a little weird hopping up into a car. What are you beeping for? Yes, I can see, I can see. Alright, turn it off. Ugh, give it another start. Nice. Alright, this one's done. We're recording for the next one.